when I went through the NLP training, it really changed my life. It changed how I saw myself, and it also changed how I saw other people. A lot of times we get judgy about what people are doing or not doing, but when we recognize there's this whole field of brain habits, past history, associations, thoughts, meanings that people are trying to navigate in the background, it really gave me a greater sense of awareness about people and their patterns, and also compassion.
Yeah.
Most of us are just living out of these patterns, and we are reacting to these, and we don't really know why we're doing the stupid shit that we're doing.
I know. Coffee Talk Tuesday. I'm Chalese Stevens, and I'm here with Holly Stokes, and she is a really good friend of mine. She's been so helpful through a lot of my healing process, and just you're an inspiration to so much of what I do. So
thank you.
You're welcome. I'm so glad that you could come today.
Thank you. This is wonderful.
Yeah. Tell the audience who you are and kind of introduce yourself.
Great. I'm Holly Stokes, the brain trainer. I have a business, the Brain Trainer, in Salt Lake City, where I work with coaching, classes, trainings, and one-on-one with clients in neuro-linguistic programming and hypnosis. In a nutshell, I help people change the brain habits that get in the way. So that's where we have these thoughts like, oh, I know I shouldn't be thinking this, or I know I shouldn't be feeling this, but we can still have the thought or have the feeling. So all of these are just brain habits. Our brain, through our life, just picks up these ideas about who we are and what's possible, and most of them aren't true. They're just stuck on repeat.
Right, right. And she seriously does great work. You do great work. Is there a little bit more that you can tell us about neuro-linguistic programming? That's a tongue.
Yeah.
Tongue teaser.
Say that 10 times. Right? So, yeah, I think a foundational principle about NLP and hypnosis and how it's different from like counseling or psychotherapy is that we look at what is your brain doing, what are the thoughts, feelings, habits, patterns that you notice, and what do you want it to do instead. Right. And so we focus more on changing those habits and patterns rather than going into story and detail and history and where did this come from, which all of that can be useful in those contexts.
Right.
So how does it work? Well, we recognize our brain is taking in information through our 5 sensory channels. So what we see, what we hear, what we think, the sensations that we had at the time or in that memory. However, we can recognize we can change all of how our brain codes that information internally that then helps us create a new change in our life in the outer world.
Right. We can. It is a choice. If we really truly want to believe something different, we can train our brains to do that differently. Correct?
Yes. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And actually, it might be good to take you through a really quick demonstration to kind of talk about, to really illustrate how the brain codes this information, how we can start tapping into that code.
Okay.
So kind of a really quick example of this is about food cravings.
Oh.
So, right. So we'll think about a food that you crave.
Okay. Right now I'm thinking of what's in my fridge because we did a baking day and we have these really yummy cheesecake balls.
Okay, so think of the cheesecake balls.
Okay. Okay.
And you kind of have a picture of that, and notice if you could point to it, where would it be?
Yeah, I see like right here, like right within my grasp.
Right. Okay, so I want you to notice that image.
Okay.
Notice, is it in 3 dimensions? Is your mind, and is it in color?
Yeah.
So that's probably
yeah.
Okay. So now I want you to imagine brightening up the light, as if like rays of light are shining on it and it's glowing. It just looks glorious.
Okay.
Does that make it more compelling or less compelling?
More compelling for sure.
Right. So now dim down the light again.
Okay.
And notice it's right within reach in that spot, almost as if you could reach out. Imagine just sending that away 3 feet. Is it more compelling or less compelling?
It's starting to get less compelling because it's more effort.
Right. It's way over the fridge.
Right in the fridge.
So bring it back to that spot where it was in the beginning. And now we're going to, once again, increase the light of it and the brightness of it. So it's making it more compelling, right? Mm-hmm. And now imagine just biting into it, that familiar flavor, and it's melting in your mouth. But now it's like gritty. It's like sand. Somebody put sand in your cheesecake. Oh, spit it out. Okay, go back to that picture. Now as you look at it, is it more compelling or less compelling?
Well, it's less compelling. I don't want it to be gritty.
Right. So as we're kind of going through this exercise, we're noticing that how our brain is coding this picture of what we crave. There are different ways that it codes that makes it more compelling. Yeah. So for foods that we crave, usually our mind is picturing them 3 dimensions in color and right within reach, like within our aura.
Yeah, right.
So if we can change like the lightness or the color, so taking that picture again, and now imagine turning the color into black and white.
Yeah, it's not as
compelling, right? And now put it out across the room. Less compelling, right? So this is a quick way of understanding how your brain is looking at foods and then how to kind of recode that internally that then changes how you feel about it. Okay. Which all of our motivations are about our feelings.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if we can harness our mind to work with our emotional system, we can redirect our mind to really go for what we want and avoid what we don't want, or what we want to keep in balance.
Exactly. Right? Yeah. That's so cool, and I know it works. And sometimes it takes a little bit of practice, and you know, sometimes we have layers of things.
Yeah, definitely.
And actually, we got to work on our brain as well as our habits to make sure it lasts longer.
Yeah, and if you can make a habit, that's something that you can maintain over time. In fact, I say, you know, America doesn't really need another diet. It needs to change its brain.
Exactly.
We need to change our brain
completely.
habits. Yeah,
absolutely.
Well, if you want more information about NLP coaching and the hypnotherapy services and trainings, you can visit my website, www.the as in mind, trainerllc.com.
All right, and all that information should be popping up actually on your screen right now, and it'll be in the comments.
Yeah, and I also have a YouTube channel. Like, I think it's so
right, it's so true, and it actually does the same thing for me too. And I'm like, okay, well, there's obviously some past trauma that you're dealing with. This is not really a reflection on how you feel about me or how you feel about this person or whatever. If you need to get it out, let's get it out. And then, are you ready to change it? Because so much of what you do, you have to be ready for it, right? It's not like somebody can just come in here that's not really ready to change and will change. Right. If you don't want to change your behaviors, you're stronger than, you know, whatever. So
well, that's like the side benefit of working in this industry, because the people who come in are amazing people that really that recognize that how they work on and improve themselves improves the life around them and improves their relationships. And so the people who are attracted to this work, like yourself, are really positive powerhouses of people who want to make a difference in the world. Yeah. We want to live better. We want to optimize who we are, how we experience life, and we're ready to make that difference in ourselves and the people around us too.
So if you're ready, go see her.
Great, thank you.
Well, thank you, Holly, for being on the show with me today, and that mug is yours. And so you can always go.